Mary's confidence is growing, and she is about to play her ace card. Her quest to show Chris scientific evidence now takes the Rodwells to a Sydney suburb. But before they get there, Mary wants to address the issue of photographic evidence.
This was taken from a bed and breakfast in England, near the crop circles by Silbury Hill.
It's quite cool.
There's 3 lights now. Oh, wow. There's another one. Oh my God. Oh my God. Come here.
It's just that crystal clarity there. That's what you don't normally see.
Here's another one.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I can't say what that it doesn't look like anything that I've seen before.
Oh! There's another. Oh my God. That's not fireworks, mate.
No, I don't think it is either.
That's really quite cool. I mean, you know,
what
military satellites, but I mean, I can't. It doesn't. I don't know.
Well, when that astrophysicist last night said, you know, little dots and what have it, he's not seen what's available.
Well, why didn't you show this last night?
Because I didn't have time to show this. If I'd had...
I'd have started with this. Start your talk with that.
Yeah, well,
and say,
I didn't
what is
have...
that? What is that,
yeah.
Prof?
Yeah.
And see what he says. You know, put it back on him.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have time. 10 minutes.
Because I can't explain it. It'd be interesting to know how he could explain it.
I was able to show him some footage from a woman who for 40 minutes filmed these anomalous lights, and they really are quite clear. And it was interesting seeing Chris's reaction to that. For the first time, I felt he'd actually shown some animation around this.
Immediately I was hooked in. I was kind of like, shit, okay, this is a bit different. This is not, you know, a fuzzy picture. This is quite clear. I'm seeing something with my own eyes that I can't explain. So I was sort of, yeah, and I don't know, there was a weird mixture of kind of excitement and, well, maybe, you know, maybe Mum's got me on this one.
So that's today, a good day. And tomorrow is going to be another interesting one for Chris, I suspect, because we're going to take him to meet a gentleman that's had a very interesting experience with these beings, one that left some, I believe, very tangible evidence. How convincing that will be for Chris, we'll just have to wait and see.
Why is it? You all right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get down. I haven't got as long legs as you.
Hello.
Hello, Peter. Long time no see.
Yeah.
Great to see you
been,
again.
Mary?
Oh, I've been good.
Good to see you.
Oh, have you?
Always
been a
good.
while.
It's day 5, and Mary has arranged to introduce Chris to Peter Curry. Peter is a security guard and a devoted family man with a remarkable story to tell about an alien encounter that he claims left him with the Holy Grail, DNA evidence.
No, what happened in 1992 was something you don't expect. And I've never had an experience or heard of experiences that have happened during the day. And this is 7:15 in the morning. I'm lying there and I feel like something jumped on the bed like a cat. As I sit up, I see sitting, straddling me, a naked blonde female, and sitting on the corner of the bed. So say I'm lying here on the bed, she's straddling me there, and right on the corner here is another female. The one that was sitting on top of me was blonde, very milky white skin, very, very attractive, but at the same time, longer face, a long nose, but it wasn't a big nose again, it was just like, it fitted their features very well. Larger eyes, very well proportioned, I mean, I've got to say. And I'm thinking, what the hell is going on here? How did you get in here? And as I'm thinking this, I sit up, and as I sit up, she's cupped the back of my head with both her hands and pulled me to her breast, left breast, and pushed my face into it. My defense mechanism, whatever you want to call it, and it's so out of thing with me, I took a little bite, I nipped, and I felt flesh, in my mouth. I didn't taste blood or anything, but I felt this bit of flesh in my mouth. I thought it was a bit of a nipple maybe. And as it hit the back of my throat, it was like you poured acid down the back of my throat, just this really bad chemical reaction. I started coughing, very heavy coughing, and as I've looked down and coughed, I've looked up and I saw them looking at each other, and I picked up what they were saying. They weren't speaking, but it was telepathic communication again. It was, he's done this wrong, something's gone wrong, this isn't the way it's supposed to be, he's done this wrong. And I'm like, what the heck, what are you going on about? I could pick on it, I could hear it. I had an erection for like 6 hours afterwards, and it was pretty painful. And under my foreskin I found 2 hairs. One was like an S shape, almost curled, and the other one was sort of not, it was just wrapped around, embedded in though, like if you push your nail into you get a little bit of a mark. That's what they were embedded. I could see that they weren't on the surface. And as I tried to take them off, peel them off, it was total agony. And so I knew it had to be from them.
Peter released his sample for DNA analysis, which was conducted by a biochemist. The results that came back were extremely unusual.
And mate, I was bombarded with phone calls from the scientists. Come to our house, took hair samples from me, hair samples from Vivian, blood from me. So it was starting to get like a forensic investigation. What they found was the analysis confirmed the hair came from someone who was biologically close to normal human genetics, but of an unusual racial type, a rare Chinese Mongoloid type, one of the rarest human lineages known, that lies further from the human mainstream than any other except for African pygmies and aborigines. There was a strange anomaly of it being blonde to clear instead of black, as it would be expected from the Asian type mitochondrial DNA. The study concluded the most probable donor therefore must be, as Curie claims, a tall blonde female who does not need much colour in her hair or skin as a form of protection against the sun, perhaps because she doesn't require it.
And Peter, thank you.
Thank you, Mary. We're always here for each other. Yeah. That's what we've got to do.
That's right.
Always.
Yeah.
No, you did some good work.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
He was a very, very believable, credible guy that works on construction sites and has now, dedicated a large part of his life to to telling his story. Do I think he's doing it for any kind of reason other than the fact that he feels compelled to do it? No, I don't.
Yeah.
How about we get together?
Yeah.
When you get so many people coming to you, ultimately from doctors, lawyers, nurses, social workers, farmers, housewives, small children, all relaying similar patterns of experience, then you have to say, what's going on? Are they all crazy? Or is this in fact a real experience?
Chris has decided he needs to talk to Peter Curie again.
Hello?
Hello? Hello, Peter?
Speaking.
G'day, it's Chris Rodwell. How you going? Your account yesterday was pretty mind-blowing and quite detailed. Look, I was wondering whether or not you would be prepared to undergo a polygraph test.
Oh, not a problem. I've always requested it, mate. I even at one stage asked Bill, there was some talk of some truth serum that was being used in some military stuff, and I said, mate, I'd be more than happy to do that as well.
Okay, great. Cheers, Pete.
Cheers, sir.
Bye.
Bye, mate.
It makes it much more believable to me, the fact he was so eager to do the polygraph test. I mean, how can it not? There's a guy saying, without a hesitation, without a shadow of a doubt, yep, I'll do it. What can you go, okay, well, right. That wasn't, I was expecting even a thought. Nah, do it.
So here we are. Paul, so I better make sure I pour this
The
time.
polygraph test will take a day to organise. In the meantime, Mary has arranged to take Chris to meet Dr. Rugbeer Bartell, an astrophysicist at the University of Western Sydney, one of only 3 people in the world whose job it is to scan the sky for laser communications from aliens.
We have a target list of stars that we want to look at, and then we use specialized equipment here, which is very sensitive to pulses of laser beams. It has to be a nanosecond pulse for us to pick it up, and that information is fed into this computer. If we have extraterrestrials out there, if they are there, they'll be more advanced than us, and therefore radio technology or radio wave technology will be old hat to them. So they will be sending information to us on a laser beam. So if there's a signal, it's hidden inside here. This is all noise. And I have a special program then which analyzes this to find out whether there is actually a signal inside.
So it just takes the noise away?
It takes the noise away. What you do is subtract the noise. If there's something there, it will show up.
In December 2008, Dr. Bartell picked up a suspiciously sharp laser-like signal. This type of signal has never been seen before, and Dr. Bartell believes it could be contact from an extraterrestrial being.
2 years ago, we found this. A very sharp spike hidden inside noise. So we were quite excited with this. I've written here, is it E.T., But the thing is, I need to get someone else to independently find the signal again, you see.
Could I ask, though, is it possible that if it was an extraterrestrial signal, that they actually may be in something moving, like a craft or whatever, and that you got the signal from there and they've actually gone to another part of the galaxy, for example, and you're just not targeting the right part of the galaxy?
That may be possible. That may be possible.
How many times would you need to see that signal repeatable for you to start to go that statistically significant?
Or maybe once or twice. No, maybe another few times.
Get another few of those spikes, you might be dancing around on the rooftop.
Yes, I have actually a bottle of champagne to crack if I find it.
Science needs empirical proof, which means seeing, touching a spacecraft or seeing a being, I suspect, coming through the door. We have this empirical evidence. It is so frustrating for me when I know there are people that know the truth and yet can't say because of Official Secrets Act, because they're threatened otherwise. And I know the conspiratorial side doesn't rub well with Chris, but whether we like it or not, these are credible people that have spoken to me. They've got no reason to lie.
It's the final day of the road trip, and the Rodwells have to wait until the evening for Gavin Wilson to fly in from Adelaide to conduct a polygraph test on Peter Curry.
Although we are on the ground, for your safety and the safety of those around you, please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until we can...
Whilst the polygraph test is conducted, the room must be cleared. So Mary and Chris have to wait outside until Gavin is finished.
It's going to be fascinating. He wants to get an answer and he really is very interested in doing it. So that's going to be a fitting finale, I think, really. If he passes that, what can you say?
Yeah. These things, they just record how you're going to breathe during the test. So just raise your arms up again. This one's going to go up and around your thoracic area. Mm-hmm. All right, just drop your arms down. Yeah. Those sensors on your fingertips, they record perspiration, right? Yep. Okay. If you're feeling faint, if you're feeling uneasy, queasy, whatever, yeah, let us know if you do.
Yeah.
Relax. Okay, Peter, the test is about to begin. I'm now going to get you to close your eyes for me. Keep your feet flat on the floor. Don't move and answer each test question truthfully. Is today Wednesday?
Yes.
Is your first name Peter?
Yes.
Do you intend to deliberately lie to any test question?
No.
In July 1988, did you definitely witness 5 aliens in your bedroom at your parents' home in Hurlston Park?
Yes.
Did you lie to me when you said you definitely witnessed 5 aliens in your bedroom at your parents' home in Hurlston Park?
No.
Is honesty more important to you than loyalty?
Yes.
Did you deliberately do anything to try and beat this test?
No.
Did you lie to me when you said you definitely witnessed 5 aliens in your bedroom at your parents' home in Hurlston Park?
No.
Okay, test is now over. Just Chris, Mary, I suppose you're dying to know what the results were. Peter passed the test.
Great. I'm happy.
So, as far as I'm concerned, what he witnessed, there has to be some merit in that.
The polygraph test has validated Peter's account of the events and reinforced his belief that the scientific community need to take this matter seriously.
Look, I think the DNA went a long way to helping people believe. Hopefully with a polygraph to back it, people can then sit back and say, well, if the guy's not lying, there's got to be something there, you know, and if there's something there, and if it's 5% of all the reports around the world, if 5% of those reports are legitimate and mine is part of that, then, geez, we've got a phenomena we need to look at.
I mean, the results actually haven't surprised me because I've always believed Peter, and I know that he's got absolutely nothing to gain by saying something so incredible.
Chris.
Yeah.
What's your reaction?
Oh, look, what's my reaction? I mean, I can't sort of sit here and say, look, here's a guy who's put himself on the line, he's told a very amazing story, sat a polygraph test, passed a polygraph test, and say, you know, I can't, there's got to be some other explanation. So in that sense, yeah, obviously, I'm open-minded enough with Pete's story. Does that mean that does that mean that, you know, I'm a convert?
Chris, if anything, though he's got a healthy scepticism, he's also very open-minded. And I think that with what we've just seen tonight, I think that's definitely got to make some difference in terms of how he views this.
It was an amazing day to cap off an amazing kind of time. And, you know, I guess I keep coming back to the fact that, you know, after having looked at everything, the only certainty is that there's still uncertainty. And the more questions you ask, the more you find. And it just keeps going round in this sort of circle. I mean, there's a little thing where you go, oh yeah, I can kind of see that, and I can understand that, and that seems real. You know, the most credible parts of this whole investigation really have been the lights that Mum showed me. Can't explain those still. And a guy who says he's been abducted by aliens that's passed a polygraph test. You can't deny that. I can't deny that, you know, and I have to take that on board. You know, has it swayed me? Yeah, it swayed me, but it doesn't mean that I'm a believer. I'm not going to go yelling from the rooftops that I think we're being visited by aliens and that UFOs exist. Yeah, but you know, you gotta say, well, I don't know.
My darling.
Hello, you ready to go?
I'm all ready to go.
All right, let's go.
Time to go home now, hey?
It is.
Okay. Right, plug this one in.
All right.
10 days is a very short time to show what I've been learning about for the last 15 years, and I know it's been very confronting for him. I don't push this subject down my children's throats, who would? But I did sense that through that, I think the most compelling thing I got from what I saw of Chris was he was very moved by some of the stories, you know, from people who've talked about their experiences. I think that has moved him.
I suppose in the end, though, what I have seen and what's been just as important to me as investigating the subject is, you know, seeing Mum work and seeing Mum tick. And it comes full circle to the fact that, you know, Mum is a, you know, she's remarkable in that sense, that, you know, she's always been a helper, and people love her for that, and I love her for that, because I think it takes remarkable courage to do what she's doing.
Chat live with Mary and Chris Rodwell at sbs.com.au/documentary.